Let's move on then to item 4, miscellaneous A. Julie Kitt would like to speak to the council regarding parking at the rec center. Julie?
I know that a long time ago probably was visited with you guys about the parking at the rec center. We have a lot of complaints on it there. Our thought was, how do we open discussion with you guys on talking about maybe some new parking there at the rec center? You know, there's the parking now that faces the library, and so the rec center and the library are both using those, I'm going to just guess, 10 spaces. Well, you know, that's not really enough. Parking behind the rec center, we'd have to do a lot of work for back behind there. Plus, you're talking about older people and them having to walk from the back side in. Our thought was, we wondered if it would be possible, you know, okay, the parking that faces the library, if on the other side, where all that grass is, on that block, if we could, even in front of the rec center, make that into parking, and then it could connect to the 11th Street. So you can come in on both the 10th and exit on the 11th. You know what I mean? Am I making myself clear? I feel like I should have did a diagram or something. You know, we just wondered, how do we talk to you guys about that, open the discussion of looking into, and also on 11th Street, making some diagonal parking there on the rec center side of the street.
It's just the parallel parking.
Right.
Nowadays
You
it's
could
one way
probably-
and parallel.
Is it becoming an issue? I mean,
Yes.
now, I know there's been a lot of attention focused on the rec center lately, I mean, but is it really becoming that big of an issue?
That's one of the biggest complaints, is that there is no parking. And, you know, how are we going to fix that back area? But then you're still looking at older people that, you know, that's a little jolt for walking that far. You know, if we could have more parking, you know, you know, there's a lot of ifs and hopes, and, you know, we'd like to have more tournaments there, so then you're trying to draw more people, and there's going to have to be more parking, you know, in the future if we're going to draw more attention and
Is
programs.
the board, is the rec center board asking for the city to put more funding towards that? Or, I mean, are you representing for the board?
No,
right now?
no.
This is-
I'm kind of a separate committee. I just said that I would come and ask you guys. I know a long time ago, the board said, the city said, no, you know, we don't want to add any more parking. So I want to come back to you guys and say, hey, let's think about it again. I'm not sure who's going to pay for what. You know, that's why I'm trying to come into you and let's see how stuff will get paid for, even if you guys are even willing to talk about more parking. We really, really need the more parking.
I think it's the other question was legality, Bob. Can they park on that side? Is there something about that ground? I think I heard something about it's not a possibility to park on, here's the library, and then over here have parking over there for some reason. I can't remember why, but do you know anything
The
about that?
setback probably isn't far enough on the building. I'm wondering, behind the library, there's a grassy area. Is it possible to turn any of that into parking? You know, to extend the parking in the back instead of the front. I don't know. We'd have to look at the zoning
Right.
codes. So like maybe that was the problem, Bob. I don't know.
It must be, and I think you're right a little bit, you're on the setback, and, well, that would be a problem, you know, having an entrance off of 11th and then exit to 10th.
Well, either or, if you came in from 10 and, you know, you had the whole block of 10, I don't know how you say it, but that whole block, 10th and 11th, if you were able to come in on 10th, you have your choice on either the north and the south sides, you know, having two sides to pick from instead of just right in front of the library, and then you could exit onto the 11th Street. Kind of, it's like would be a drive-through, pass-through,
One-way
with parking on both sides, yes. Kind of a one-way,
We
with
might have
parking
to-
on both sides.
We might have to look at that.
We just want to look at the feasibility of it.
We just didn't know why the reason for the no was years ago. If it is
I don't know. I don't
whatever,
remember.
but,
I
you
think it
know,
wasn't either. It all came down to money.
is that what it came down to?
Because actually the city doesn't own the building, they don't own the property, it's all done by the board of directors there.
The library owns the...
No,
No?
the rec
Rec
center
center
board.
he's talking about.
The
Rec center board governs everything up there. So I mean, the city doesn't own the building, the school doesn't own the building, it's a 2080 agreement between the two. And that board governs everything that goes on there, so.
Okay, not to be stupid,
Mhm.
but, so who do I have to get permission from, or who do I talk
That's a
to
good
about
question.
making that parking then? Are you saying that I have to go
I mean,
back to the
they
rec
can come
center
and ask
then?
for funding from the city.
I think first what we're needing to know is if it is okay to make parking there. Because from what my understanding is that the city said, no, you can't make that grassy area parking. And that is owned by the city, that whole
Okay.
grassy area.
Yeah, the city would own where the
The block.
library is, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
But where the rec center is, if you want to make a parking lot in front of there, that is not owned by the city or,
Is there enough room to pull in and park there, even at an angle?
that would help with a lot of our
I
drainage
think we'd have to
problems,
look at the zoning stuff on that too, on the parking, but, I don't know.
Well, who do we check with then? How do we get her answers? Does anybody have
She'd
suggestions?
have to get permission from the board, from the rec center board, because they actually own the property. Then you also have to run that past the P&Z officer to make sure that parking is available. But as far as angle parking on the street, John, do you think that street's wide enough even if, I mean, they didn't have to be sharp, you know, they could have
You'd step back.
gentle angles, huh?
You'd have two problems there, because when the crown of the street and the parking and the slope and for the water to drain, if you would angle park, you'd be getting into that lower area, and for people to get in and out, I think you would have an awful high step to get in and out of your car or pickup or something.
The spaces you put in, you have to put in handicap accessible as well, wouldn't you?
Well, there should be some, yeah,
Yeah.
and, that's way too big a step for, what you're saying, you'll gain a few more cars to park there rather than parallel, but
if we had some more handicap on the front side for the
Yeah.
library rec center, you had more for them, and then, you had, that side street could be for more, people that can, don't need the handicap.
Does anybody remember why the parking lot wasn't put in when the library was built? I mean, why was that?
Well, actually, at the time when we built the library, we wanted the library, as far as the council, to set back for, make the parking at the front bigger, and stop wasting that space on the back side.
The library was
But the library-
completed in 1989, the rec center didn't start till
No,
1993.
but part of that, 'cause there's just one line of cars along the library. And I think you're talking a little bit about that
Yeah,
north of
make
the
it
library
another-
too.
Yes, make it on the opposite
Oh.
side.
My question was why, there must have been a reason they didn't do it when they did it, was it? Or they
Probably.
figured that 10 spots is enough for the library?
Probably only requires so many spots per building or something.
I know it's a problem for the library, the parking,
Sure.
and everything gets put over there from the rec center, and there's oftentimes little parking for the library.
Mhm. Yeah. So then I need to go see the
Planning and zoning.
board then, or do I have, are you guys okay with us thinking about making more parking there then?
Think about anything.
Okay, then.
Good idea, right?
Are you,
Come get me, we'll look at it, come on.
okay.
We'll get
Are you
the
guys in
stuff.
favor of us making more parking then? 'Cause
I think it's needed up there personally.
Yeah, needed.
Yes. So it's gonna come down to who's gonna pay for it.
Right, that's gonna be the biggest
It's gonna
issue.
be a big issue.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie. Anything else?
No,
Okay, thank you very much.